Hi. Welcome everyone on our community double weekly community ETCD operator community meeting. Please put your name into this document. I have to repeat, we probably don't have anyone new here, so I have to repeat that we have Telegram group and we have Slack channel in official Kubernetes Slack. And let's switch to agenda. And we have two topics to discuss. The first one is CNCF ETCD operator state. I'm very sorry, but previous week I skipped the meeting, CNCF meeting. Could anybody please share what was happening there and what the current state of CNCF ETCD operator state?
I was there. Yeah, I was there only half an hour. So I can tell that they presented the flow chart that they drawn. Seems to me there that it was taken from us. At least it is very similar, but it was restructured. So I can't tell 100 that it is 100% the same. So, but words are very similar, and the order of actions is similar as well. And the requirement to others to look it through to the next meeting and give the feedback.
Interesting. We can do that, I think, even now.
Yeah, I sent a link to this to our Telegram chat to this doc. I can find it. If you don't see it, I can find it. I think.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, this was presented by
yeah,
by the guy from
yes.
I don't know what his name.
Last name is Wang.
Wang, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's the leader of this group. I think it is little bit different than we have. We probably start with service check. But I found that they also are going to use stateful set for the beginning.
Yeah.
Cluster size expected. Just think what the soft they used for drawing this.
And seems they want to have their own certificate management.
They own what?
They want to have their own certificate management, seems to me.
Yeah, I got it. So what they do, they get existing ETCD cluster resource, and if it exists, they will go somewhere here and finish reconciliation. If it is existing, then get stateful set resource. If stateful set exists, the health check is running, and if it's not, it's checking if it is has more than 0 replicas, and if it has more, then they end the reconciliation loop. And if it is with 0 replicas, then create stateful set with replica. So if it is not exists and ETCD cluster size more than 0, then create new stateful set. Okay, that's pretty similar to that we have. Then they run health check. Health check if replicas more than 0 and update status. So they run ETCD member list, ETCD endpoint status, and get ETCD pod status.
Yes, it is very similar to our flowchart.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, then exception handling. We check whether stateful set replica is equal to member count, which is returned from ETCD member list. What is the difference? They probably not handling the service creation. The rest seems pretty similar. Okay, and I see they also discussed the spec of the cluster. So here is only the basic one. And certificate management. Don't understand it as much, to be honest. All right, so they decided to implement it as certificate management provider.
I'm not sure that it was discussed because when I came, they described this flowchart, and I have never heard any discussion of CRDs. So I'm not sure that it was discussed. Probably it was just written.
Oh, okay. So it is up to consideration. I think it would be nice if Timofey, if you could check this flowchart and just put your comments if you see that something is not. I know that you did some decisions having your own. I think you can mention the problems they can face with.
Yeah,
It would be really nice if you could comment on this document, and you can also say that we faced with these troubles before. Don't repeat our mistake.
yeah, the chart is indeed very similar to mine. I guess they took some inspiration from it. Sure.
Good. I will just post it into this document. I can't edit. I can't edit it. Why? Hey, it is here. Okay, then let's switch to the next topic. What is left for member add and member remove functionality? How far are we from this? And I think, Timofey, I can ask you to present this subject.
Yeah, well, I can't really give a good estimate how far we are from this in terms of time. I'm managing to spend maybe one evening a week moving forward. There were some changes in the pull requests. So right now there's one more pull request, number 260, that is ready for review. And part of the other changes I've moved to the next pull request in the stack. That's 265. One of the problems I mentioned it on the last meeting, is that sometimes some tests are failing. And I wonder if anyone had a chance to work on them over the past 2 weeks.
Well, yes. I'd try to find out the root cause why tests sporadically fail. Unfortunately, I didn't find the cause. Just sometimes, let's say, one run of 50 fails with connection refuse message, and I still investigating what's going on there.
Can we just repeat this section a few times? Did it work or?
I ran tests in a row in a loop for 50 iterations. One fails. 49 passes. So
So maybe I'm just having a really bad luck.
I think that GitHub has really poor virtual machines for running those tests, and
yeah,
they can
but
be really slow.
But still, the connection refused. That's something strange. And also, it's in webhook. Well, I got this error from webhook, and I'm thinking how to ensure that webhooks accepts connections. So it's not so easy. It's not as easy as ensure that the operator accepts connection by the health check or something like this. So, I mean, when we run the operator, we can ensure that it accepts connections running the health checks, but with webhooks, it's a bit tricky.
I think it makes no much sense because nature of Kubernetes is that every service should not expect on the other service. It's better to keep it less scoped. So I think if we can just repeat the failing tests in 10 seconds for 3 times, would it work? Or if it's bad pattern, what do you think?
Well,
it's not ideal. It's not ideal. I mean, I can always, change like an empty line of code to trigger the tests again. Maybe I don't understand GitHub Actions that well, but
no, we can just rerun the failed jobs and that's it.
Okay.
And
excuse me for a second.
And I just thinking what the potential cases where are they failing only on this port forward and webhooks?
Well, I got this error only with webhooks.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure. I think the cheapest solution would be just to repeat those sections which are failing in 5 seconds, for example, 4 or 5 times. We can always make it better later. Kirill, if you say something, yes, you are muted. Port forward is failing or something else. I do not see. So port forward or some other request? Tom said that it is failing on trying communicating with webhook. And I just opened this one.
It fails on ETCD cluster object creation when the mutation webhook was called.
Okay.
With connection refused error.
But we, I think, fixed this or similar error in the past, and it was related to kind, and we switched kproxy to IPVS, and it worked fine. And this bug seems very similar, but I thought it was fixed, and I think Artyom, you fixed it by by my investigation with Grigory Rochev.
It wasn't me, but yes, I remember that that
Mhm.
fix. But I still get this error. And what about the errors which we can observe in GitHub during the test runs? This secret is not found, and I think that I don't know the cause of these errors, but I managed to get rid of such an errors just moving the kind preparation steps out of test suite. So I added kind prepare and kind load steps in the make file when we call the test -e2e. So it's running outside of test suite, and all of these errors are gone.
Looks like it requires just another sleep.
Maybe. So yes, I'm still working on it, and I try to investigate and fix it so we get the stable tests in the end.
Thank you.
But for now, yes, we can just push the rerun failed jobs.
Let me just try that real quick, because where is that button actually to rerun the failed jobs?
Andrei, can you switch to GitHub? Yeah.
Okay.
So you can open the failed test.
Go to details and then run push the rerun.
When we investigated this problem, it turned out that endpoint appears in the service before IP tables are adjusted, and we changed to IPVS, and this problem was fixed completely.
Yeah, looks like the reason for this is really slow GitHub VMs.
Do we maybe have some resource wherever in the cloud that we could?
I think I can create the worker, virtual machine with worker for GitHub, but it will take some time. I think I can do this till the end of this week.
To be honest, the reason is incorrect handling of asynchronous processes, and just slow VMs just increase these mistakes value. But anyway, somewhere we have bug in a kind, or we have bug in autotest.
I think the main problem here that we're waiting for, that we create some entities and we expect that they will be immediately accessible.
Mm-hmm.
For example, you create service, but you don't expect that kubeproxy can be working, can be slow and cannot apply this rule. So I think in our case, we should do the following. We should wait for, I know, at least 15 seconds. And then if it's not working, then there is definitely some problem. And if it's start working during the 15 seconds, this is totally okay for Kubernetes.
I totally agree with you, because, for instance, we can have a very, very, very large clusters. Let's say 1,000 nodes, and the rules of IP tables or IPVS would be propagated to the cluster nodes, not simultaneously and not immediately. So we have to considering the ephemeral and eventual nature of things.
So to me, it would be the best option is to wait until the service become accessible. For example, every time we run tests and we have to wait, in ideal case, we should wait until it be working.
No, it could. There is some situation when you are waiting, but the state you are waiting for will never be achieved. So we need to have some timeout, yeah. And if we did not get the result in timeout, just throw some error message or apply the recovery procedure.
Yeah, for example, we applied ETCD cluster manifest and it didn't become up in, I know, in 30 seconds, for example.
But we are testing not on the cluster with 1,000 nodes. We're testing on kind cluster with one node. So of course we can add some timeouts, sleeps, and wait for something, but it's for me it looks like some dirty hacks. Yeah, of course we can. What we can do is I can add to tests some check for if the port is accessible. Just
some TCP check would be nice, I think.
Yeah, just check the ports which are used by webhooks if they should be accessible from somewhere. Anyways, and if the port is inaccessible in 10-15 seconds, then okay, we can fail the test. Or maybe we can mark it as passed to make our actions page green.
And this is not about creation of a ETCD cluster. It's about our operator that that it is created, readiness probe passed, but
service.
But webhook is not available for some reason.
Yeah.
So
yes. This
service
is the problem.
Endpoint. Yeah. And how kind is similar to Kubernetes? I'm not aware. Is it Kubernetes or it's some other code base? Okay.
It is based on Kubernetes. It just runs Kubernetes components inside of Docker. If I remember correctly, it is even running in YAML machines, but I may be wrong. So in our case, it becomes if it is running virtual machines in YAML, it looks like we use nested virtualization, which is actually slow. We have virtual machines in GitHub, and they're also running other virtual machines inside of Docker. So the reason might be in that. But yeah, okay, checking TCP connection could be a nice solution. The only problem that currently it is failed on port forward. So the kubectl port forward command itself reported that this port isn't open yet.
Yeah, as I said, after I moved the kind prepare and kind load operations out of test suite, I did not get this kind of errors. Before I moved, I also tried first to run the tests in a loop, about 30 or 50 iterations, and I got more errors, and also something like related to port forwarding and another also. But after I move it, I got only one failure with unavailable webhook. So I still running it and investigating, and yeah, I will add the port availability check and we'll see.
Okay, one more note which I would add, that this error is happening due to the nature of this function. It is actually not implement port forwarding for services. it's still, if you'll take a look into kubectl code, it will find all the pods
Mhm.
which are matched by this service, then select one of them and enable port forwarding for it. So I think this might be checked by if the pods are up and running before executing this command.
Yeah, guys, in the background while we were discussing, I restarted all the failed jobs on my pull request number 260, and they failed in exactly the same place. So that you opened my link, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the issue. That the tests fail consistently for me. Now, I mean, I understand that that would be a sign that, okay, there's something wrong with my code, but
No.
I did not alter anything relating to TLS.
Looks like cert manager issue.
Yeah, folks,
Mhm.
give me
Yeah,
some,
probably.
give me a few days, and I will come with with some solution. I'd say.
Yeah, I'll keep pressing on with my stack of pull requests, but at some point they will need to be merged and tested.
Yeah, sure.
Can we disable the test for some time if you want to merge it as soon as possible? I don't know.
I think if you'll say that you tested this locally, that would be really nice.
Yes.
Oh, we
I
can't
also
because
think
with this
so.
check, we have this check. Yeah, we can enable force merge for for some time until the tests
Yes.
are solved. Do we want this?
Well,
In my view, fine.
we can. Okay, then we can decide on a case-by-case basis. I'll be testing stuff locally then, and if everything works locally, then we can decide on a case-by-case basis that, okay, in this case we can force merge.
By the way, do you you mean you want to run tests locally? Did I get it right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. So yes, it's absolutely fine, I think.
Yeah, okay. And if I absolutely need something tested and the tests on GitHub are not working, at least we can run them locally where my laptop has a bit more processing power.
If only one test case fails every time, I mean, if all errors related to TLS, we can just disable this test suite. I mean, the matter of one letter.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think
We can
this is the best solution.
disable this context and that's it. So if
Yes.
other test passes, feel
Yes.
free to do it.
Also fine.
Yeah, so long as everyone is aware of what's going on and we know what we agreed upon.
Okay, then I will not disable it, this function. So better disable the test which is failing, and Artyom will check it this week.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do we have other topics to discuss?
It means that we needed to add some synchronous stuff to our asynchronous Kubernetes creation of these Helm releases with Cert Manager. To be honest, I hate it. I just hate it. Adding such functions to the code, I hate it. I have much stuff in Pulumi. I really hate it.
I think this can be done using Flux because it allows you to put depends on, and we use it. We use this feature a lot in Cozy Stack. For example, we install Cert Manager certs after the Cert Manager get installed.
I know. Yeah.
And you can use condition check for waiting for them. The only thing I don't know is how to deploy local release using Flux IDEA. So it should be somehow served and stored. The Helm chart itself should be stored somewhere. But I think it is not really important. So we can just use Flux IDEA to prepare the cluster, wait until all the Helm releases installed, and then use ordinary Helm to install our release. But it also makes no sense.
It looks too complicated, to be honest. Installing Flux to kind and
Just
Yeah.
test.
yeah, I
Yeah,
would
it looks
go
like
with Red Knight.
another failure mode on top of Cert Manager not being deployed properly.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we just need to wait for Cert Manager before start testing suite. That's also might be an option.
Yeah, the thing is that in make file can't prepare waits for Cert Manager, but for some reason, sometimes it fails.
You mean it is?
I think what's going on is that maybe our test isn't waiting for the TLS secret to be generated.
Yes.
Oh, maybe.
Yes, I'm sure this is true. Just CR for Cert Manager is being created, and it is assumed that it works pretty fast. Yes.
Mhm. Yeah, if that's the case, I'm sure it's a quick fix with like wait for or something like that.
Yeah, Cert Manager has a lot of entities which should be handled before the cert will be actually created. I think 3 or 4 different entities like order, challenge, and things like that. Maybe it is easier when we have self-signed certificates,
Yeah.
but still wait for certificate become ready, I think should be enough. Okay, then. Any other thoughts? If not, I think we can finish for today. And see you in 1 week in CNCF ETCD operator meeting, and in 2 weeks in our ETCD operator meeting, same time. No, hour before.
1 hour before, yeah.
Yeah, 1 hour earlier.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone.
Andrei, if you have a few minutes, can you stay?
Yeah, sure. So I'll just stop recording.